Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about something called civil asset forfeiture. Sure you heard the term. I saw a video, it's an old video, on YouTube the other day, and I'm going to show you a little later an excerpt from that video, which really shows what kind of scumbags these people are who are out there promoting these programs. The video I saw was shot in September of 2014. The guy giving this speech, this fucking clown, his name is Harry S. Conley. Now, at the time he was the city attorney for Las Cruces, New Mexico. That's real funny because New Mexico is a Democratic stronghold. You know, power of the people. We're the party for the people. And yet you have scumbags like this guy in that state promoting this stuff there. Telling the cops how to essentially steal people's property. And this part I'll play you is really cringy because it really shows what kind of scum this man really is. But a little more background on Mr. Conley. After this video was shot, it became public knowledge, Mr. Conley had to take some time off because the public wasn't none too happy about this. Now, the city manager for Las Cruces at the time, he was backing up old Conley. Well, recently they replaced the city manager with somebody else. That scumbag, who apparently thought this was a good idea, he's gone. Now, here's something else. I did a Google web search on Las Cruces, New Mexico. Oh, I can find out who the mayor is, who the city manager is, who the police chief is. But when it comes down to city attorney, there's nothing about it. Can't find any link, can't find any information. I don't even know if they've got a city attorney right now. Hopefully they wised up and they showed this Conley the door and told him to get his ass out of there. And that'd be kind of funny if they fired his ass, or if he ran for office and it was a public office that they didn't re-elect him. Because where's this guy gotta go? Probably into private practice. That's right. Go into private practice representing the very people you laughed at, be one of the attorneys you scoffed at and called the enemy in this video. That's right. Be one of those now representing people who you were all inclined to steal their property from. Now let's see if that happens, if any of your clients would get arrested, and then they come and say, well, you got paid off by the profits of drugs from this guy. Let's go steal your property. That'd be really poetic justice. But once again, I don't know. I can't find out if this guy's still even working there. If anybody knows, please leave a comment down below and let me know. Now, here's the part that I'm going to show.
My name is Harry S. Pete Conley, Jr. I happen to be the city attorney of Las Cruces. There's a recent case out of the Court of Appeals. It has to do with red light cameras. But if I were a city lawyer, I would read it for seizure because it has to do with nuisance. And it takes care of every argument that the dark side could raise, the dark side being the defense bar. The cities only represent truth and light and justice. You use 30-8-9. What is that? That's part of the criminal code. What does it say? Well, it says to enforce a public nuisance, you bring a verified complaint in the district court in the name of the state. So that's how you get there. We picked a format that said if you have a conviction of DWI someplace in the world, we can bust you and seize your vehicle. That's what we did. A young guy of 22 years old is selling dope out of his daddy's house. And he sells the dope and he gets caught. And so he's arrested and he's put in a diversion program and everything's happy. And one bright day, his daddy gets a notice of seizure of his house. And it's like, now think about it, this is a gold mine. A gold mine. You could seize a house, not a vehicle. They seize the house. We're not dealing with the Beamer crowd so much. We deal with just down-to-earth human beings that have their cars seized. And one we had was a guy, and we always try to get every once in a while, like, maybe a good car. And there was a stakeout at a bar, and this guy drives up in a 2008 Mercedes, brand new, just so beautiful. It just, I mean, the cops were undercover, and it was like, ah! And he gets out, and he's just reeking of alcohol. And it's like, oh my goodness, we can hardly wait. So he goes in the place, and they refuse to serve him because he's drunk. So what he does, he pulls out his credit card, and he buys drinks for everybody. And he says, I want you to know that I'm not drinking, it's for you. So he does, and our police are just excited as they can be. And he walks outside, and just as he's about to touch the car, our police officer goes, whack, you're under arrest. For what? Being drunk while driving. And he didn't have control of the vehicle. You don't have to drive a vehicle in New Mexico to control it. Sleep in it, lay on it, do whatever you want. And so we thought, damn, we got a 2008 Mercedes-Benz. This is going to go to auction. This is going to be great. We can put all of our junk out there, and this will be the big seller. And lo and behold, we finally get the facts that he didn't have control. And so we have to, like, gulp, and back goes his car. Because we didn't, it was drunk. He's had previous drunks, but he just didn't, we didn't wait. We should have left the door open, sat down, hello, pop. Then we'd been all right. And you've got to realize when you seize a motor vehicle, you can arrest the person for a broken taillight, whatever it is, and then you run, the police run him on the scan or on their computer, and that's where you find out if his license is revoked, what have you. We're in there basically on the public nuisance statute. The statute is also there, 3-18-7, which is a nuisance statute, which gives you the right to define nuisance. And what you want to do in your ordinance is make sure you have a public nuisance, not just a so-called private nuisance or nuisance. You want to call it a public nuisance because a public nuisance is decided as a question of law, not as fact. And a public nuisance affects much of the community as opposed to just a few people. And there's an incentive for forfeiture because what it says, if the police seize, the police department gets to keep all the money. So there is something, I mean, how far could you take nuisance? Could you take an airplane? That's a vehicle. Can you take bicycles? Could you get Lance Armstrong's 20,000 bike? I mean, where can we go with it? One last comment. I got to thinking this morning in the paper, everybody is running around liberalizing marijuana or thinking about it, putting on a ballot, taking off a ballot. And I thought, boy, what a trap. You liberalize marijuana so somebody can sell it. They sell the marijuana out of the house. Then you seize the house, which is like, you know, $10 of marijuana, and you get a $300,000 house. What a deal. I mean, that's really exciting.
Now, what do you think of that? What a real scumbag dirtball this piece of shit is. I'm not against seizing somebody's property, a RICO crime or stuff like that, a crime that warranted it. But this piece of shit, and go look him up, Harry S. Conley, you might have to do a little digging because they tried to, I guess they tried to bury his fucking bullshit. But he says that make sure when you go and you arrest these people, you list this as a nuisance crime. And then he goes on further to explain there, Well, you can go seize their car for drunk driving, prostitution, shoplifting, because it's a nuisance crime. Go seize somebody's car because they were shoplifting? You go steal a little bottle of shampoo, you're gonna go seize their car? Seize their car because they were drunk driving? Okay, maybe a couple of times that they're drunk driving, you seize their car. That's fine. But this motherfucker, early in his video, was laughing about how the cops were rubbing their hands together and salivating at the lips because this guy had gone to his bar and he drove up in a brand new Mercedes and they were going to get him coming out and getting in the car and then say he was drunk driving and go seize his car. This fucker isn't interested in getting people for crimes. He's interested in seizing and stealing people's property. And that's the thing that's wrong with this. If you take somebody's property, you asset forfeiture their property, then you charge them with a crime. You're taking these people's property, and the way it's been put is you don't have to be charged with a crime. Your money's guilty. Your car's guilty. Your car has to be proven it's innocent. And now I'm going to get to nowadays. We have somebody in this government of ours right now who hopefully after the midterm elections is going to be shown the door, sent down the street. Now, early in Donald Trump's presidency, he had a little meeting get-together, it was televised, of law enforcement officers telling them, well, we need to have asset forfeiture. It helps our department. It fights crime, blah, blah, blah. And he's on there saying, you know, that's a good idea. I'll have to look into that and all this shit. Donald Trump is a businessman. He's not a politician. A lot of your politicians will know about this shit there because, oh, I'm law and order and I'm all this. And they use that to get elected with. But once again, Donald Trump is not a politician. He's a businessman. So, he goes to people who know about this stuff and put this kind of shit in their head. And the guy who's our current Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, he's a civil asset forfeiture fucking gung-ho motherfucker. He's all for it. But he's on Donald Trump's radar in a bad way right now. Not only because he's ineffective as an Attorney General, he's just a worthless, invisible man piece of shit. Donald Trump has talked to some people and he realizes that there needs to be prison reform. People don't need to be sitting in prison for chicken shit crimes because somebody wanted to put them there, like Jeff Sessions. And the word is Jeff Sessions at odds with Donald Trump over prison reform. And Donald Trump said, this guy better get on board. Well, I think he's a cooked goose. After the midterms, I think he's gone. 75% chance he's gone. Good. Bye. Go back to your plantation in Alabama and grow tobacco. Another loser crop. He's also against decriminalizing pot. I don't give one fuck if you smoke pot. Frankly, I don't care if you want to go sniff lines of coke. It's your body. You go around stealing money for it and stuff, yeah, you ought to be prosecuted. They catch you with it, unless you're raping a baby or robbing a store. To me, that's just a crime you're committing against yourself. And you don't need to be sitting in prison for 15 years because of that. But you got Jeff Sessions again. No, we need to throw them in jail. We need to buggy whip them and we need to throw them in jail for 15 years. This guy's got 19th century fucking ideas on law and order. Now, when he was being ran up for Attorney General, people were saying, oh, he's a racist, he's a bigot, he's everything. He's not a racist, he's not a bigot. Frankly, this guy doesn't care if you're black, white, red, green, from Earth, from Mars. No, this guy's got the 19th century idea of law enforcement of throw everybody in jail, everybody's guilty, prosecute them all. He needs to be fucking gone. Hopefully Donald Trump will get rid of his ass. But here's the thing right now. The midterms are right around the corner. They're about 3 weeks away. And you need to contact your representatives and bring this to their attention. You need to make this an issue. That you're not going to put up with any more civil asset forfeiture without a person being charged and convicted of a crime. This stealing for profit isn't going to go. And I'm going to mention to you something here, because there's going to be plenty of people, well, Republicans are out after this. Got news for you. 2 years ago in Tennessee, which was really notorious for this, and I really don't know what they're doing now, if they clean their act up or not. But they had been in the national limelight for what they were doing. The Republicans brought forth a bill to curb asset forfeiture in their state. Guess who sunk the bill? That's right, your buddies in the Democratic Party in Tennessee sunk that bill. The party of the people. Now, right now, this is not a Republican-Democrat thing. This is a right thing. It needs to stop. It needs to end. And first off, the scumbag is the Attorney General. He needs to go. That'd be a good point. That'd be a good starting point. Hopefully I can say to you, adios, Jeff. Go back and grow tobacco in Bama. That's all I got to say today. You have a good day. I'll be doing another video very soon. And this one will be about the shooting that happened the other day. About this store owner who happens to be some commissioner in Central or North Florida. And this homeless guy was in there shoplifting. And this guy took it to mean his life was in danger and he killed the guy. That'll be an interesting thing there. I'll be glad to talk about that. And don't get me wrong. Don't try to guess my motives, because I am Second Amendment. I'm for stand your ground. I am not for gunning down people who shoplift. And I'm not for gunning down people in parking lots because you were in an argument with her girlfriend and the guy came over and pushed you, so you thought you could pull your gun out and shoot him. But I'll talk about that in the next video. Yeah, have a good day. Talk to you later. Goodbye.